Welcome back to the grid, welcome back to Let's Build a Megazord, to box number 8 and magazines number 33 to 38. We had these magazines in close-up in the past in other boxes, so these aside, you can re-watch older videos or you're collecting that yourself so you know what's in there. There's a manual for building this entire stuff and some history lessons on Power Rangers, what's on the show, behind the scenes and such. Also, if you're paying premium like I do, you get this extra today, which is a power bank. I assume it's for the base plate. It looks like it can be lit up and you have to power it somehow, so this is what it's for. Closer look on the building table in a moment. And also, speaking of the base plate, an extra box, which sounds and feels like the tribal coin parts to make that complete. And maybe electronics, I didn't peek inside, so we will see in a moment as well. And then we have number 33. These parts are pretty big again, so I assume the building will go very fast. Like last time I recorded like an hour 20 minutes, cut that down into a relatively short episode, which is fine. I'm more than happy to not take too much of your time with this, but yeah. Piece of T-Rex again. Speaking of T-Rex, here's another part, 34. So some electronics inside, and then I have to get that over, sorry. 35. Yet another T-Rex part, which I'm more than happy to get, because I kind of want to have at least one Zord finished, but they swapping it up now and then to get like 4 or 3 magazines, and you get another Zord to not make it like lame, I guess, to have like Lego does. Lego has, when you build stuff, they have different parts, different colors, and swap it up to keep it interesting. So that the end result will still look good, but in between you don't just have, let's say, all black, white, black, gray, green, whatever parts, like 3-4 colors. And when you have electronics, I have the rocket from Lego there, next to the Red Ranger helmet. That's the V5, and that one inside was pretty colorful. So it was a nice build, so yeah, can recommend that just as a side note. And here's magazine number 36, and as you can see, we have red parts and also yellow parts, which means saber-toothed tiger. So from this one, we're moving up to the next Zord again. Speaking of which, everything close by. 38, and bigger parts, sorry, 37. So they are identical. So yeah. They're mirror parts of each other. They are, I think, the sides left and right of the Zord, which form a piece of the front chest part. We'll see that in a bit. And it's time to build the Megazord on the building table. So, see you in a moment. Welcome to the building table, and as always, we have a lot to do. And as I said before, because of the size of the parts, I think we'll be relatively fast. Which is nice to save some time after all. So we have the base plate stuff, and we have the power bank. Let's see how this looks. I know I think it's just a basic. It's always like these freebies. They are very good in general, and it is Power Rangers branded. So I know that from pictures from the website. Let's see. I mean, this is nice wrapping, and yeah, micro USB. It doesn't say how much it holds. Power Rangers, and here's a USB and a micro USB charging port, and here's a little little switch for that, little button, and we get a cable. I have these. It's a bummer that it's micro USB. I would prefer the USB-C because it's an industrial standard by now. and you don't have to actually see what's up, what's down. You just plug it in, done, good. But I can deal with that. It's metal, so for cooling, and it's engraved. The power ranges is like it's raised. Feels really quality, really nice. As I said, it would be nice to know how much it actually can hold power-wise, but let's see, is here anything on there? Lithium inputs 5 volts. Capacity. Oh, that's not much. 2,600. So that's not much. I have one which is for my on-air sign outside, which has like 5,000, which doubled that size roughly. I had a way bigger one from Anchor, and here a little side note, just quick. I bought that for my trip to the UK, which was in April this year, and I was visiting Mark's Park. Hello Mark, if you're watching this, best wishes to the UK. And like a week back, or 1.5, I read an article which said, oh, if you bought this power bank, they'll have like multiple on the list from Anchor, yeah, give it back. The company is retracting those because there's a case of that they could explode or burn or whatever. Yeah, mine was one of these as well. I'm lucky that nothing happened, so I went to Amazon like, hey, I want to give this back. And yesterday I received a mail and like, Amazon, oh, alerts, one of your stuff you bought, it potentially could go boom, so please send it back. I'm like, I really did that, but hey. But back to the build, back to these parts. Small box. And, oh, it's not even the tribal coin. Interesting. Oh. Well, it's LEDs. Oh, it's battery powered. Okay. Yeah. So, the biggest downside for this is you have to figure out yourself how and where to put everything. So, yeah. I was right on the it's powered part, because as I said, it looked like that on the website. We have some screws, we have some parts, and I have no idea where to put what. That could be interesting. Let me get that figured out and we see us in a sec. Okay, first order of business with this, we have these little bars. They go on here. There are 6 of those. There's a place for each one. They are like little pillars. They go, as you can see, like so. And they need to be screwed, of course. So they go like that. And screw goes from the other side, and we'll do that in a moment. I didn't expect that to get raised in any form. That's kind of weird. I assume there will be something to cap that off in the future. I hope at least. Otherwise it would be weird looking. And here's another part which the electronics comes in, like for the batteries, the pack. This one is smaller, so this goes here. So it needs to be other way around. Sorry. Needs to be screwed as well. Then we have it similar like this. And yeah, I assume more like that, because this has to go in here, and we come to this in detail in a moment. So I will attach these first, and then we see us back in a sec. So these are in there, as you can see, they are all attached. The middle part is, well, not screwed to the rest yet, but the other ones are. So yeah, next step will be this electronics part, basically. Well, not too much electronics, but you know, you get the idea where the batteries get in. So yeah, in here with 2 screws. Make sure to take the right screws for these. There are screws with a little bit more bigger head than these ones. I don't know if the camera picks them up. And there are other ones with like a smaller head. You take the smaller head ones for these bars here, for these like little razors. And after that, when the electronic battery casing part is in here. I don't know how to call it, the battery casing part, the battery part, pack part, whatever. When that is screwed to this will go in here and get screwed as well. So I will do the rest of that and we see us back in a sec. So there's actually 3 kind of screws, not 2. Really small ones with a small roundish head, then these with a bigger head, and there's only 2 of those, and the other ones are like small as well, but I mean they're all small screws, but the other ones have like a raised, I don't know, as I said, the camera picks it up, there's like a little bulb on the head of the screw, but as I said, the ones for this one here, there are only 2 of those, so you cannot really mix that up. Also make sure that the cable runs through this little hole here in the side. So I will fix that up and be right back. Everything's set up and done, and I have to correct myself again. So the screw for the battery compartment inner side for the those are these screws. There's one more, there's not 2 of those, there's like 3. Cable runs through. I'm interested how this will end up in the future, because there needs to be like LEDs, I guess, to have that lit up somehow. Anyhow, this is how the back part should look, and this is the front, where we have the part where all the batteries go in the near future, and somehow here we'll run cable through, I assume, and then boom, we have a part which will be the tribal coin. This is really shaky at the moment. I don't know what will happen with the lower side. I assume they will have stuff to cap this off, or at least something to have it at a similar level that you have an next outer ring or whatever. And the last part, which for today is this, basically, which closes this off for the battery section. So yeah, that's stuff I don't normally like with toys like this. When you buy stuff, I mean, Sentai is pretty clever by now. When I think of the DKV Saber, or there it's very hidden. I had to search to where's the battery casing, but like the Mobiritz, the legendary morpher from Power Rangers, Super Mega Force, the Japan version at least. You take a pen and whoop, you have no screw, and you open it up and it's mostly hidden, no bullet holes, which is nice, and no screwing. But with stuff like this, I mean, I could keep it like this, I guess, for now, I don't know. But on the other hand, I might want to screw this down to don't lose it. And if I do so, if I want to swap batteries, I actually have to take that off. So when a tribal coin comes on top here, I have no idea how that ends up. Or they do another one like this, which goes on here, where the tribal coin is, and this is the downside instead of the upper side. That could be also the case. That would be interesting. We will see that in the future. Also, we are at 1/3 roughly through the magazines. We're on magazine number 38 when we're done today, and it's 120 in total, so we're roughly 1/3 done with everything. But I blabbed too much. Let's move on to the actual Megazord part here. Let's start actually with the Megazord build today, with magazine number 33. With this little, pieces. Little is good, little and big at the same time. We have a big chunk of T-Rex, and we have electronics, which is the battery, and we have some metal washers, some screws, more screws, and some foam for the battery that it's not going off on us. That's all for this, so let's start building. So this is very simple. We take this big plastic piece here and the first arm and attach this, and we have silver screws, we have black screws. We take the silver screws and the silver washers. In total we have 8 of each. I think we have some leftovers as always, and attach that here. I hope you can see that. The camera will not really pick it up. Ah, yeah, there. So you hold it like this, take a screw, put a washer on it, and then screw it to this plastic piece, and you do that with 4 on this side and 4 on the other side. I will do that off camera as per usual, and we'll see us in a sec. And we're done with the arms. They are attached to the body. We only have to take this piece from last box's built and slot this in. There are the black screws left. We use those to have these parts connect. Battery goes aside, will be used in a moment. So see you in a sec when this is done. That's more like it. So this opens and closes as you know from your toys if you own it, or from the Power Rangers show. This is a little bit fiddly. You have black on black with 2 small screws. This part here is like on rails, or 1 rail at least. So small hint here. Put 1 screw in, have the screwdriver on top and move around a bit, and you will feel the screw go into the first hole, and then you can screw it in. That makes it a bit easier than just like where is what. But moving on to the next magazine. Magazine 34, the back half of the T-Rex's body. So let's see what we're dealing with. Another big piece. As I said, the back half. And yeah, screws and electronics. Let's get on to it. We start out with these 2 parts, this plastic part here and this board, which attaches like this. 2 screws, and this small black plastic piece is actually the compartment for the battery. Also, I noticed I don't got extras this time. Last 2 boxes I received 2 batteries each extra. I think they're very confident now that these will work. As I said, in the past I had issues with those, and this battery compartment is way too small to fit one of my custom batteries in, which is sad. So I hope this one works, otherwise I have some spares. So let me screw this together and we'll see us in a moment. Okay, when we're done, then it looks like this. You have the part with the button and the charging port on this outside. Here's the part where the battery goes. I attach it already, as the magazine says. The first port here on the end is it's like different ports, so you cannot mess this up. There goes this, and the last thing we have to do is here's another cable inside, which I will attach on this port right behind the one for the battery. And then we're done with magazine 34. Pretty quick, everything else aside, and we'll move on to the next one. Magazine number 35, and I'm running out of space here. So inside of this is more T-Rex stuff. So this one, and that one. Also not too much. Some screws again. And I know this part. This is for movable parts. So let's get on to it. So we'll take our torso part. Here's the battery part dangling below from it. And we take the green cover here and just slot that in, and good. Looks like so, just a small push, no glue, no screws, nothing. Next step is very easy. We take the back of the T-Rex's body and the silver piece, which slots nicely in here. And we take one of the silver screws, screw it together. We're done. Looks like this. One screw, very easy. Next part is this. We had it before with the arms of the T-Rex, for example. goes in here. The same silver screw we used for that one, for the silver back piece here. We used those on this metal part to connect it to the body, to the back half. But like before, silver screw, silver washer on it, and then screw this to the plastic. We're done. The metal piece here is attached to the back of the body. Next part is the T-Rex's head, which goes in here, gets lined up, and we need to screw this with 2 screws. It's the 35.9 screws. These are these black ones with the very wide head, which have a bump on top. I hope the camera picks it up right. 2 screws and we're solid. Okay, looks like this now. Cables go down, straight down, have to be inside the body. And now's the interesting part. Comes together. The rest of the, well, inner things need to be inside as well, so let's see. And that's one chunker. So it's loose together like this, just for now. The next part is this. We need to attach it here. Slides just on, and then we use screws to have it fixated, of course. And these are, let me check. Oh, they're on the other side. These are the 35.8. It's the ones we didn't have before. It's the one with the more flush head. It's wider and a flush, like flat surface screw. So I will attach that and be right back. This is one big ass Zord. So if you would travel back in time and told my younger self someday in the future I would have this or something like this is available, I wouldn't believe you. This is like a show prop. We're not done. There's still 50% missing, like the whole body, like the feet and the tail. But yeah, this is one freaking Zord. And now comes the fun part. So I don't know why they said we do it like this. I would prefer to do it like split in half. The circuit board is loose in here. It needs to go in on the back of T-Rex. Needs to be screwed there. You also have a button which needs to go here. So this will be fun. Be right back. It's alive! It's alive! I actually had a Frankenstein moment. So, long story short, I took this off again and split it in half. It's way easier to attach the cables before you try to fiddle around and get the screws in here. So don't waste your time. Take this off or don't do it at all. Have these parts separate. Insert the things, and as I screwed it together I hit the power button on the back and it lit up. So yeah, actually, where did I hit it? Where's the button for this? I mean, I attached it, but oh, that's actually quite clever. So if you don't know, you wouldn't think about having a power button here on the back. So you see the charging port here on the back where my finger is. Below are 2, let's say, engravings, like decoration, which makes those look tacky, or 2 of these here. They're hard to see. They're like really small black squares, and one of the squares is a button. That's clever. Yeah, it's alive. Really cool. So that's that, I guess. yeah. It's really weird that they tell you to do that when, I mean, doing it like so is hard, like that this is annoyingly hard. So, as I said, don't do that to yourself. And we're moving on to the next magazine. Magazine number 36, halfway point for this box, and a little bit more T-Rex parts, the red ones, and a little bit of what's next, which is saber-toothed tiger. So let's get started. So T-Rex is a little bit more on the shaky side still. He's a bit loose. We will fix this with this magazine. So we have these red parts here and this gray part. We have two of each, one for the left and one for the right side of T-Rex. So the idea behind this is the gray part slots in here, and then it will connect on the side of T-Rex. So you have these black parts. I don't know if you see that this is a little bit raised on the outer end. So this slots on here. For once it completes the look because it looks a bit strange. Well, stuff's missing, of course, and it makes this more solid. So let's get started. The gray piece goes in here like so, and then just slide it over. Then we have the back half, which does the same. And just 2 screws and we're done. And of course on both sides of T-Rex. We're done. T-Rex looks like this on the front, that on the side. Here's the part where in Megazord mode Mastodon clicks in, and on the back it's like this. You can see 2 screws on each side, very easy. The black screws with the roundish head. Only thing we have to do is take these red caps, because you can see the bullet holes and it doesn't look good. So we take that and just attach it on both sides. No glue, nothing, just push it till it clicks and we're done. This is really nicely coming together. It's a complete look, as you can see, and I love this already. I never thought I would have something like this in my life. I said it before, if you told my younger self in the past, if you had a time machine, I have something like this, I wouldn't believe you. This is like a show prop, size-wise and everything, so yeah, really, really great. And I'm still up for Megazord. I know my channel is still pretty small. I'm close to 1,700 subs. Really big thank you to all your support, every like, every share, every comment you do. Roughly 10 subs are missing, then we're at 1,700. But I still want Megazord. If anybody might see this from Hasbro or from Fanhome or both, even if the channel is small, there's always a chance. Megazord, please. Thank you. I don't need like in Titanus. That would be overkill much for most people, I guess, price-wise and size-wise. I don't have animals, but if I had a cat, I could put that in there, drive around like a real tank. But Megazord has to be compatible with that, and you know, Mega Megazord and everything. But yeah, I will still love to have a Megazord. I said it multiple times, and I'm up for the price. I wouldn't hesitate at any time, and I know there are a lot of people who wouldn't hesitate either. They would take that. So, with no further ado, let's continue. Saber-toothed tiger parts aside, we need those in the next magazine, so let's move on. Magazine number 37. We're moving on, and we're building the neck of the saber-toothed tiger next. We have some bigger parts. Let's take those out. Okay, this will be interesting. We take one of these really long screws, long bolts, and there's one part which looks like a nut, but it has on the upper and lower part It has something like a little tip. I will try to show it to you. So what we do is we take this yellow part here, and the part with the two tips goes here in front, and then the screw goes in from the back on top of washer first, and then you screw all this together. Should look like this. Don't tighten up it already, because it needs to go into the back of the saber-tooth tiger's head first. Push it in, and when it's in, tighten up the screw. It will widen up and make sure that it doesn't split apart when the saber-tooth tiger is assembled. After that, we take this piece here and this metal piece. We had those before in a smaller way, and this goes in here. Just a small push, should look like this. Next part, you connect those two. There's one screw hole, and we use one of the small black screws from the magazine before. Next is this part, which goes on top here. Align it, and then we have on the lower end some screw holes where we have to use the black screws to fill that in. It's 4 in total. I forgot to mention we have to use the small tiny black screws for this. End result is that, and we have this little black piece. I don't know if the camera picks it up. It's a square which goes on top in here. Looks like so. And this lower cap will go on top of here and closes off the bullet holes. That was just a gentle push, so it's in there. Saber-tooth tiger now has a neck, which is nice. Now we have this left off. This, we had that before, goes in here. Needs to be screwed, of course, so you know the drill. End result looks like this. Washer on the bolt or screw, what you prefer. And then 4 of those. We have that. Only part is missing is this, which goes in here. Pretty challenging. You need a small screwdriver for that. I mean, small screws, you need that in general. Has to look like so. And it's barely visible, so 2 small black screws go in there. That's that for this magazine. Move on to magazine number 38. That's the last one for today. Magazine 38, as I said, the last one for today. We had some of these parts before in 37. So this is a repeat like minutes ago. Goes in here, 2 screws, pretty challenging. See you in a sec. Okay, I have to correct myself, not so challenging at all, because we don't have these raised parts in here, so yeah. Moving on to the next 2 parts are this boomerang bone-ish shaped part and another one of these metal parts which are for movement, so that goes in here, slight push, and you're good. Should look like this, so pretty easy. Next are these 2 pieces, saber-tooth tiger's head with the neck and this plate. So here's the metal piece inside, and here's a counterpart for that. So we just align this and slot this on, so very easy. We have this boomerang thing, and here's one counterpart-ish thing left. So there's the other metal piece which slots in here so that this sticks out at the end. After that, we take the square shape and Here's like a guide rail, so this is just slopping in. Hello, post-credits here. I forgot something. We have this, we're at this point, and we have this part left, which just goes in here. So, just rest there, nothing more, nothing less. Back to the regular program. And that's that for today, sadly it looks like. So technically we could close this off, as I said technically, but there's pieces which we have to assemble next time. So a nice start for Saber-Tooth Tiger, getting more on that, and this still is like, this is getting huge as well. Yeah, but the star of today's show is definitely T-Rex. As I said before, it's alive. It's alive. Give me a sec. What's the button here? It's alive. Once more, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. And we see us next time when it's time to build a Megazord.